We will now move on to this, how to create a hybrid online in-person lesson. So I think probably the most difficult thing here is grading your students and making sure that they've done assignments. So I've been looking at different ways that you could do that. A lot of teachers are resorting to this manual grading, which is video. The problem with that is it's extremely time consuming, where you have to sit and watch each student perform. And if each student's expected to play only 10 songs in a week and you have 100 students, that's still 1,000 things that you'd have to grade, or just, hope that they did their assignments. But more and more, we're expecting students to do 100 things a week, just to go through quantities of materials, especially for sight reading. You want them to read. And so you don't know if they've done it. So what I'm going to show you here is this accountability with grading your lessons. Before we go on to like some free things, let me just show you how this works. Before I do this, can I see, just a raise of hands, how many of you are familiar with how Piano Marvel grades and how your students' reports are done? So I've got, I don't see a lot of videos. Some videos are off. Okay, so some of you have seen how that works. Let me just do a quick demonstration of what you can see with your students and what they've done. So let me share my screen with you. And I'm going to open my account. And I'm just going to come over here to the reports. So if I wanted to see just like practice minutes, for example, which of my students have practiced, I can come in here, and July 1st, you can see each of the students have put in some time. I'll zoom in so you can see a little better. Or how about I zoom the other way? Zoom in. I can see this first student here, Pat Hughes. She has 262 minutes. This is an adult student who's 80 years old of mine. And she's been super, super consistent. Every single day practices. Looks like Mason Gonzalez missed the July 4th and July 5th, but super consistent otherwise. I can go back to last month. Up here at the top, you'll see the little July, or I could just say go to the previous month. And I can say, let's see who practiced the most. Looks like Isabel. She's a 10-year-old student. And you can see, we'll see if she missed any days. It looks like she's done extremely well with practicing. On the other hand, my student Kenny Taylor has not been practicing at all. She practiced one day last month. So what I like about this is instantly I can see if I have some problem students who just haven't practiced at all. So that's one thing, but more importantly would probably be my assignments. If you give your students an assignment, you want to see how they've completed it. One of my assignments I've given them is this Scale Ninja Beginner. So I had my students do the Scale Ninja Beginner, and you can see this is a leaderboard. So I can come in here and see where they rank in the world. Like Cade Kenny is a 10-year-old student, and he's finished all of this. He ranks second in my group. Josh Mills was third, finished. Miley's finished. Mason's finished. So this is what we call a leaderboard. Leaderboards are cool because you can see where your students, which of your students are placed where in your class, and they can also see that, which helps motivate them to work. You can also go in and do a class rank and see, well, this leaderboard's not working for the class rank, but you can see where your whole group or your school ranks in the whole world. So you can see, hey, we're ahead of this university or that university. Guys, let's try to beat them, as a way to motivate students to practice more. There's another Scale Ninja report. Just type Scale Ninja in here. And this one, you can actually see a breakdown of every single scale that I've assigned them. If this decides to pull up.
And Aaron, this records cursor time, right? Not login time.
That's correct. Yeah, so just time they're working. So if they leave and go to the bathroom, it doesn't count that time. It's just the time they're actually working.
But it also only counts if you go from the beginning to the double bar at the end, correct?
No, it actually counts if you start and stop in the middle practicing. All time that the blue marker's that cursor is moving, it should be counting the all time.
Okay.
And that's whether it's connected to a piano or whether it's not connected and it's just on an acoustic piano. It counts that time as well. This one though, however, you can see Haley knew it. She has done C major, G major, D major. This one she only got a 90% on. She got stuck on the D flat major. So if I was to just say, hey, I'm assigning this to the entire class and I want to see you guys finish, I can see instantly that I don't have to worry about Josh. He's done. He's already working on his minor scales. He's got the first one done. But as far as this assignment, all these students are done. I only have to contact Virginia and see what's wrong with her D flat scale and why she got stuck there. I can see 98s on some of these, but as a visual, you know, they can do hundreds of hours of practice and you can see instantly all of your students' assignments at a glance. So this is a big, big time saver. What's really cool though, let's say you wanted to build your own curriculum. You can actually put in your own reports, put in your own scales, and you can build your own report and then have your students do those and you can see them as they're working on their assignments. So what I'd ask Josh to do is I've asked if he would go ahead, and since this is being recorded, you guys, what I think I'll do is I'll put this on YouTube, and I'm going to put a link directly to this time-stamped spot where Josh is going to show you how to upload and make your own curriculum so you don't have to frantically take notes. So, Josh,
Yes.
I asked Josh if he would, can you open, share your screen with us?
Yes.
And can you open the document that we made where I gave you a format where it says class piano and then week 1, 2, and 3. Can you show me that that document so everybody can see that?
What is it called again?
Well, I don't know.
Me either.
We had written this out. We might need to go and
Let me see if I can find it from yesterday.
I think it said you were going to do a scale, 2-octave scale on there. You were going to take something from Alfred's book so we can borrow some other content. And then you were going to create your own content with, I think, Mary Had a Little Lamb. So maybe if you do a search in your Google for Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Aaron, is this through Piano Marvel that you're building this curriculum, your own?
Yeah, so in Piano Marvel, we're going to show you how you can share these with students. And you can upload your content into Piano Marvel. And then that way they can just go in, do whatever thing you assign them, and it all shows up in your grade book. Okay, so this is it. So we're going to create this class piano, and normally they're 15 weeks, 13 weeks, something like that. Week 1, Josh is going to do a scale, a 2-octave scale, D major and A major in there. He's also going to use, he's going to steal something from the Alfred Group Piano for Adults and assign that. And then he's going to do a recital piece and assign that with Arabesque. And then he's going to upload an exercise, because a lot of you have used different curriculum and you like some of the content, but you always find that you need to supplement it with something. And so there's a very specific reason why there's no perfect method out there. And that's because you teach in a very unique place to unique students and you have a unique style. So allowing you to be able to innovate and come up with your own curriculum, I feel is very important. All right, Josh. He told me that he could do this in 5 minutes. I could not do that in 5 minutes, but I'm going to set a timer. And I wanted to see if this is possible. So Josh, you're going to have 5 minutes when I say go, and we're just going to watch you do this
All right.
step by step. Ready, set,
Okay.
begin.
All right, so I'm gonna make this curriculum real quick. This is what I need to do. So Scale Ninja is first. So I opened up the uploads. First thing I'm gonna do is make the name of this thing. It's gonna be called this. So here we go. The composer we'll say is
Okay, I'm going to stop you right now.
okay.
I can see why you do this in 5 minutes. I can't even keep up with you.
Okay. Well,
So let's go back. Let's go back and just talk people through what buttons you're clicking.
okay. All right. So in Piano Marvel, we're in the library. And if you click the create and upload, it's going to take you to this little upload portal. And this is where you can kind of do a lot of stuff. But the first thing that I think we need to do is to make the folders that all these different weeks are going to go into for Class Piano 121. So if we go over here and say create a new book and title it and put all the different things in there. So this is going to be University of Awesome. Difficulty level, we'll just pick something. The genre, we'll say it's an institution. And you can also choose right here if you want to do this report. So we're just going to add this report name, and then you just click save. So what you've done right there is make the actual folder that you're going to be sticking the weeks into. So this is like the overarching
It's the
big
book.
folder.
It's the book, and now you're going to create the chapters.
Exactly. So we made the book. Here's the chapters. So we'll create a new bundle. First chapter is called week 1. So we'll just go in here, say week 1. The composer, I'm going to say various just because we're pulling from different stuff. Difficulty. We'll just throw it right here in this book.
So it's important to put it in the book. That's how you link it to that book.
Yes. And you could turn on report again here if you wanted an individual report just for this week.
But probably
Or
not for this, huh?
Yeah. So that's pretty much ready now. So the first folder is ready. The first chapter is ready. And if I wanted to, I could make week 2 and week 3 as well.
Hopefully we have some of these teachers here who are connected, their computers connected to their pianos, and we'll make them sample students of yours. So if
Yeah, that'd be cool.
you have your piano set up or almost set up and you want to do this with us, just connect your piano to your computer. If you've already got a Piano Marvel account, then we'll just have you, Josh is going to give you an assignment and show you how to link to him.
Yeah. So at this point, we just need to go ahead and make the first week of assignments. So this is already laid out for me. We're going to start with Scale Ninja D and A major. So if you go over here again, what you want to do now that you have the book made, you want to go to Piano Marvel Library. It starts off on my uploads, and this is everything I've uploaded personally. But if you go to the Piano Marvel Library, it's going to load every song in the entire Piano Marvel database. And so what you can do here is type in Scale Ninja, and you'll see the books show up. So if I click on that, and I click on the major scales, I can just drag these into here. Now, let's say for some reason you didn't like that these scales need to go all the way up to a certain speed. If you wanted to make them faster or edit them in any kind of way, you could copy this to your uploads. So this is called A major, I think is what I just did. And if you go down here and find it, boom. So it's right there. So at this point, you could kind of change it if you wanted to, add slicing, change the speed. It's set to 160 as the quarter note. I like it how it is, so I'm just going to keep it and drag it in.
Actually, couldn't you do a little bit of editing on that one?
Yeah, so if I click here on this edit button,
Change the name to like A major edited.
I'm gonna put it up to 240 just to make it really hard for whoever does this.
Let's actually go slower because that's stupid.
All right. Well, the thought was there. Okay, so 114 we'll put it at.
Is this, by the way, is this under prepare and assess?
Right now, this one's actually only under, actually, yeah, it is under prepare and assess. So yeah, you could change it, which we'll show you what that looks like.
Why don't you
if
just
you're
leave it under, well, that's fine.
not- Okay.
You can do it under that.
So now we've done the first two. We'll want to pick something from this Alfred book. So that's pretty much the same deal. You want to click Alfred. Here's the first book of the Piano for Adults. I think I found something here yesterday that was kind of cool. I still don't know how to say this composer's name, so if anyone knows the correct pronunciation, please let me know. But there we go. So 263. Now we need the recital piece Arabesque. So we'll go back here. We'll type in Arabesque. Oh my. By Bergmuller.
Hey, is that the right one? Can you do a quick check by clicking on the view button?
Yes.
Whoops, that didn't open. Try that again.
Okay.
So that link might be broken. All right, we'll just have to try. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah. So yeah, I believe that's the correct one. So there's that. And then now we need to upload Mary Had a Little Lamb. So this is something that I made in Finale. It's just really simple, Mary Had a Little Lamb. So what I'm going to do here is my uploads.
Hey, really quickly, I know since we're recording this and people are going to want to know details, can you open that in Finale and just show us what it looks like?
Yeah.
And then
So
how you export it as an XML.
yeah. So here is the Finale file. And it's just the same thing, transposed up a whole step. All I did was go export MIDI and then export music XML.
Can you put any chord symbols in there?
Yeah, I could. So if you want to add a chord symbol, you go to the chord symbol tool, click here, and it will do some fancy stuff. So boom, boom.
Okay.
Boom.
And then could you put in a little bit of lyrics like Mary Had a Little Lamb and just leave just do that first measure maybe.
Yeah. So let me just turn off the fretboards because that's kind of annoying.
What program is this?
This is Finale.
Okay, I
It
thought
works
so.
in almost any notation software program.
So this is Mary Had a Little
Tall
Lamb.
lamb.
But with a P.
Okay.
Okay, and can you also put in finger number 3 in the right hand on that first note?
Yeah.
And can you also give me a 1, 3, 5 in the left hand?
Oh yeah.
Below. Yeah, can you do it? How do you do it below? Mhm.
So it looks ugly, but it's going to export beautifully into Piano Marvel. So
Well, you can fix that, can't you?
yeah, you could, but
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't really matter if you want to save time. I mean, I know it's only a second or two, but you could just let it go.
I'm kind of anal about that. I want it to look good. Also because I want to export it as a PDF. Maybe
true.
maybe that'd be a good thing for you to do now is export as a PDF as well.
Yeah, so
You can make PDFs and give PDFs to students too.
yeah, so if you want to export the PDF, you can go down here and say, on Mac at least, you can go down here and say print, PDF, save as PDF. And this is not a symphonia. Mary had a little, very little, oh man, little lamb. Okay, so Mary had a little lamb. You'll also want to export the MIDI file.
So this is the MIDI is the sound.
Yeah.
And you can have background sounds like with drums and that to make it more fun. I'd just keep it simple at first.
Definitely. And then you'll also need the notes, which is the like the actual sheet music. That's the XML. So you'll go File, Export, and you'll click Music XML. And I always choose .music XML, partially out of habit, but it seems like it opens easiest on my computer. So yeah, I just click Music XML, click Save, and now it's all on the desktop. And at this point, you can go back to Piano Marvel and you can upload it. So from here, you'd want to type in all your little things. You could choose how hard it is. I guess it's a 5 if you make it go really fast, so we'll say really fast. Institutional. This is the important part right here, which is different from before. You want to upload the files that we just made. So we have a MIDI file and the music XML. And we were talking about this earlier.
You have a PDF too.
Oh, we do. Good call. And we have a PDF. And this is the thing we were talking about earlier. I'll show you this.
Well, do it under assess. Because
So
everything else has been under prepare. Prepare and assess is good.
Okay. All right, so that's going to save. And once it's done saving, we can just add this to the bundle.
Now, you didn't make a pretty cover for any of these. No thumbnail.
No.
You also, you can make a video tutorial, which I imagine most of the teachers are going to want to do, is being able to make video tutorials. So you just put in a URL for the YouTube link. And then, it'll link a video to that song.
Yeah, and then at that point, you basically made it so you could go and check it out, see if it looks right before you give it to your kids. But yeah, I mean, at this point, should all be good to go.
Okay, so Sean or Josh, how do you then share that with your students?
Yeah, so once it's looking good, you can share it pretty easily. You can choose to share either the entire book or just chapters. You probably want to share the entire book by clicking on that little icon.
How about this? Go ahead and close that. If let's say you've set up some classes and you just want to share it with a specific class, can you show us how you do that?
Yeah, so I don't know if I have classes set up. So
Why don't you set up a class called Hybrid, and the Hybrid will be like our experimental zone here with just the people in this group.
Okay, so I'm gonna make one called Hybrid. Actually, we'll just call it HYB. Actually, I got this backwards. Whatever.
Let's just do them both hybrid.
Hybrid.
It's
so
short.
There's a class. If I go back here and I go to share, you can, right here where it says classes, you can say share with. Once I refresh it, I just made a new one. You can go here and say share with Hybrid. So no matter what, like even after the ad drop date, if some kid leaves or comes in, like they'll get it automatically shared. Like you won't have to go back and actually share it with them, which is pretty cool.
I don't know why that's not working.
I don't know either. Doesn't
You might have to refresh since you just recreated that. You just created that class. That's what happened.
Maybe I'll go like this. Library.
I'll bet you it works now. Still not?
Still not working. No.
That's weird. Well, let's go share it with my email address for now so we can demo it. You want to put it out?
This is due tomorrow. Hurry up.
Hurry up. Okay.
All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, now can you open the report and see how well I'm doing on my assignment?
Yeah. So if I go back to the reports. So if I click on the My Report there, that may be able to show me what I want. Not showing me what I want though. So if we go back to reports.
There should be Class Piano 21. Is that what you saved the name as?
Thought so.
Let's look at the report again. So editing the report, Class Piano 21, progress report is a yes. Change the name maybe to hybrid.
Definitely. We'll call it hybrid.
There may be a syncing issue.
Yeah, it didn't show up.
All right. Why don't you do this? Let me go in to share my screen now,
Okay.
and then you can maybe log out and log back in. I'm not your student though, so I'm gonna have to show you what I do to become your student. Did anybody have a question real quick?
I just wanted to say that I've done a really quick job of creating the first 15 weeks of the first semester of my group piano class.
Uh-huh.
So if there's time for me to share that, I would love to, just to
That would be phenomenal. Yeah.
a different way to organize it.
Okay. It'd be great. So let me share my screen and I'll show you on the student side what this looks like. So how do I make this go away? Here we go. So I'm going to log out of my account real fast, log back in. And oh, I got saved logins over here, so I can just click on that. I like these saved logins. You don't have to remember your logins. So it was over in the library. I should see that I have this message here. Josh Mills shared a song with you. Book title, Class Piano 121. This is due tomorrow. Hurry up. So I'm going to add this to my favorites. And I'll go over to my favorites and see if it looks like what he put together. I can look at my reports, and he chose two songs that I'd already started, Arabesque and this D major scale. He created a new one that I've never done before. So I need to go in there and do the 2, 3, and 5 assignment. So if I open up the week, you can see I've already done this first one, but I'll open it so you can just see it anyway. There's a video tutorial that was already linked to this, which walks me through this particular scale. I don't know if you can hear my sound, but I probably need to, probably need to share my audio with you. Share computer sound. I'm gonna fast forward that. Let's go through our tips. Your thumbs will always land on the D together. Practice crossing over to the 4th finger with the left hand going up and the right hand going down. Remember your middle. Let's label those. Right. Fingers together, middle fingers together. 4, 3, 3, 4, 4. Let's try that. Then cross under to 4, cross over to 4 with the 4, and 4 under, 4 over, 3 on under. Okay, so what's cool about this is I was able to make a video. I can't count how many times I've taught this scale. I kind of get sick of teaching the same scale to thousands of students over and over, so I just made a video, just linked it to the exercise. So now this one is there's only the prepare mode. And I got an 84% because I didn't do it fast enough. I need to get down to 6 seconds and get this over here. It's pretty cool. It actually links to the Ninja report, and you can see where you rank in the world with that scale, which is kind of cool because it motivates you to practice more. Anyway, moving on to my next assignment, all I have to do is hit the next button and it'll actually take me to the A scale, which I haven't done yet. And that one I got a 99% because I missed a note. I'm gonna try again. Now I got 100. And this one is assess.
Set. Go.
So the first time the student plays through it, you can see they got an 87% score. You can see which notes they got right, which wrong. They can click on them. You can speed it up, slow it down. If you slow it down, you actually don't get a score for it, is the problem. You can also use the prepare mode and practice it, which is kind of nice. So instantly they can see what they did wrong. Some of your students will read this really quickly. Some of them will take longer. It doesn't matter as long as they get the assignment done. And everybody can move at their own pace. I'm going to move on to the next song, which I've already finished, 44% of the way done. Let me just try to play the full speed. Josh, do you know if this one is set to be able to play just the fastest tempo?
Yes.
Oh, then I'm just going to go to the fastest speed and play through that one. If it isn't, you'll know.
Set. Go.
Actually, let's skip to this one. You guys all know that song. Mary Had a Little Lamb. This is the one that Josh built specifically for me. And so I'm going to play it at the tempo.
1, 2, set, go.
I'm not. That's really slow. I'm going to go to fast, speed it up. Let's go to 240.
1, 2, set, go.
And you can see I got a 98%. The notes that I got wrong show me there. You can see his finger numbers that he put on. He put on this 3 here, the 1, 3, 5 here, the C chord, the chords, and the lyrics. So everything he put in there showed up really well. So now if I go back to my report, you should see that I did better. All right, I've got 66% of this assignment completed. Josh, do you know what went wrong with number 2?
No, I do not. Did you not finish all 3 of them?
There aren't 3. There's only 1.
I thought there was 3 speeds on it.
Let's open that up again and see what went wrong. So there's only 1 speed. There's only a prepare mode. I wonder if there's a glitch with that song in only doing prepare. Can you switch it on your end? Let me stop sharing and Josh, you share your screen with me. Let's go look at that song. Go edit it in your library and switch it to assess mode. Assess and prepare. And if we find that this is the problem, can you contact the developers and see if we can get that fixed?
Definitely.
Okay, so now that he's done that, I'm gonna share my screen with you. Go ahead and stop your sharing. I'll go back to mine and let's just refresh this. Go over to my favorites, which I believe it should be on the top. And you didn't put a little pretty icon on there with the thumbnail, but you probably would do it. So now when I click on this, I've got to minimize this. I have the prepare and assess. Let's see if this works.
1, 2, set, go.
Thanks for not doing 240 beats per minute. So now that was the problem. There was a little glitch in there. If I click on my report, I can see that I have everything done. Let's go back to the teacher now. Josh, can you show us, were you able to find the report? Wait, you're not my teacher.
That's probably why, yeah.
Well, let me go back to, I think you're right. Let me go back to my screen and I'll show them how to have their students link to the teacher. So back to Piano Marvel. You can see if you click on this and you go to my teacher, I am, I believe, my own teacher. So I'm going to switch this to Josh. Which one is it? Is it Mills?
Yes.
Or your email address would work too. So if you give your students your email address, that's usually the easiest way. All right. So now that I'm linked, I'm going to stop sharing and Josh, show us what the teacher sees.
Okay.
See if I did my homework.
Hey, there it is.
I think in order for that to show there, somebody has to do an assignment.
Yeah, you have to have a teacher that's done
I'll
something.
probably be your best student in this one. I am. I got an 86%. So that could go right in your grade book. And then 34 for Evelyn. And Annalise gets 27%. So that's one easy way to automatically grade all of your students. If you have 100 students, it's super simple. All of their reports go in there. Does anybody have a question with that at all? Donna? You're muted, Donna. But your lips are moving.
What is the assessment based on? Notes missed, staying with the tempo, correct rhythm?
Yeah, there's only two things it grades. It doesn't grade any artistry. So there's no slurs. It doesn't grade dynamics. It doesn't grade articulation. It only grades whether you got the right note in the right time. So, and that was intentional because music is artistic and you really don't want to start getting in the habit of grading somebody's artistry because then they feel like they're put into a box and they can't really be creative. So you leave that to the teacher and letting their ear do that. So mostly those are just making sure they got the right notes in the right time, which is probably the hardest part of learning the song is just getting the notes down because the artistry really comes kind of naturally. And that's kind of what our job is as teachers, to teach them now that they've got it under their fingers, how to be artistic with it.